Hello, everybody. Meteorologist Noah Bergren and Laurel Blanchard here from the Fox 35 Weather Center. We are tracking some big storms out there tonight on this Thursday evening. Hope you had a great day. Again, this is meteorologist Noah Bergren and Laurel Blanchard here. I'm going to take you through a quick overview here for a few minutes about these storms. And Laurel and I are going to talk you through this for about the next 45 minutes, and then Laurel will be on our News Edge at 8, which remember you can stream on Fox Local and on the website, and she'll have more of a deep dive into the storms during the 8 o'clock hour. So let's get you right to the radar, because there's at least one storm that has me mildly concerned for some big wind right now. Now, just a quick radar update. If you're west of I-4, most of the big storms are done for tonight. There'll be some storms that refire this evening, but so if you're in the Villages, Ocala, Clearmont, probably most of it's done for tonight. We're looking at areas east of I-4 through the evening, especially the area I've circled, where there probably will be several more severe storm warnings for about the next 90 minutes, which would be till 8:30. So I put a loop of the radar on here for you, and notice I actually just got a new severe thunderstorm warning, which was what was expected. So everything is moving to the east at about 20 miles an hour, but this thunderstorm that's coming out of Osceola County is producing some really sizable wind. So we've got a new thunderstorm warning. You can see there's two polygons on here. The first one was till 7:15, which is 2 minutes, and it'll go away. There's a new one till 7:45 for Orange County and then northern Osceola County. And this is for wind of 60 to 65 miles an hour coming through the St. Cloud area. Let me zoom you in. First of all, notice there's a ton of lightning. Let me turn off the lightning because you probably can't see much, but right where you see this purple in the St. Cloud area, there's probably some damaging winds occurring, maybe even some pretty sizable damaging winds occurring.
I think we got kicked out.
Hey there, everybody. Meteorologist Noah Bergren here and Laurel Blanchard. It's just after 7:15 8:15 on a Thursday evening. Hope you've had a great day today. Myself and Laurel are going to take you some of this storm tracking for the next few minutes. I'm going to start you off here, and I'm going to toss to my colleague and friend Laurel Blanchard, who's going to take you through some more. And then I'll wrap things up for you because she's going to be on the news edge at 8, and we'll be tracking these storms more for you from 8 to 9 p.m. So, again, meteorologist Noah Bergren, Laurel Blanchard here, west of I-4. First of all, you're clear for any big storms for the evening. There'll be some more things that form later tonight, but the big storms for right now are going to be east of I-4. And here's the loop of the radar over the last 45 minutes. And I want you to notice these storms are tracking in the direction of Titusville, in the direction of Cocoa Beach and Satellite Beach. And the storm that's coming out of St. Cloud has a history of producing some fairly sizable wind. And that is where we do find a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for eastern Orange County and also northern Osceola County. And that severe thunderstorm warning goes till 7:45. So we're on our YouTube page, we're on our Facebook page, and I believe at 7:30 this stream will also be added to our Fox local platform. Hello, Nicole. I was about to say, I know you're a follower of ours. I see you on Brooks, Laurel, and my pages on Facebook. I know you live in the St. Cloud area, or Kissimmee. If you have any descriptions of what those of you went through of this storm, that'd be appreciated. But I can see your comments here on Facebook. Please keep them coming. Hello, Rachel Creech. The storm is crazy. The water lords are coming up. Rachel, where are you at? That would be helpful. But we've got a severe thunderstorm warning till 7:45 for northern Osceola and eastern Orange. So if you have a question, comment, concern, or a report, please put it in. I'd love to hear from you on Facebook. But let me turn the radar into wind mode, and we'll zoom in and take a look at some of the winds here. Now, right now, over Pine Grove and New Eden, that's where we've got the strongest wind, which is currently detected. These are the system just updated, 50 to 60 miles an hour. So right where I'm circling between Runnymede and Pine Grove, we've got 50 to 60 mile an hour winds. Right over Nova Road, that's going towards Abshire Road, Sungrove Lane, over here in New Eden. So this is the east side of St. Cloud, some 50 to 60 mile an hour winds. Now let me bring the radar back in time a few minutes and let you look. I'd be very surprised if there was not a report of some wind damage here at about 7:05. Look how much higher the winds were. So here's the proper of St. Cloud. You see over here on the left. And look at some of these pixels, 67 miles an hour, 63. There briefly for a few moments was some 60 plus mile an hour winds here, over 192 in the Ashton area. So that probably produced some pretty decent wind. I'm down here in Palm Beach Gardens. Hello, Winnie. Thanks for that. Robert, Buenaventura Lakes in Osceola County. Appreciate that. In Lake Nona right now, currently feels like hurricane conditions. Well, let's go to Lake Nona currently. We'll go to that in a second. Rachel, St. Cloud, I believe that. Y'all in St. Cloud, I'm in flooded Kel Y Bass. Appreciate that. Power flicking, Julian. Winter Park, Carlos, I don't think there'll be anything else in Winter Park for tonight. You guys should be pretty good there. But here is this thunderstorm with just a silly amount of lightning in the St. Cloud area and in eastern Osceola County. And do you know a speed of that they put it in? Is it still 20?
They're clocking in, I'm sorry, what?
The forward speed of the storm? Is it still 20?
For this one, they are calling for this storm moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. They're having trouble verifying that there's been 70 mile per hour winds. The highest that they've reached so far is 43 at the ground.
Okay, so with that, let's put a track on this at 30, you said?
Yes, 30 miles per hour.
Track it like this. Probably something like that. So the Sharps area is 749, Cocoa 757, Port St. John 801, and Rockledge, Christmas. These are the areas in line of this severe storm. Now, I'm going to venture to guess why the Weather Service says that is because there's probably no sensor right where that was. The St. Cloud observation points are not really near where that wind was. Now it's getting into some pretty rural areas. This is Dallas Boulevard, where there's some wind, and let's take a look at the wind in here now. The good news is the last minute it's come down a little bit. 37 there, 36, 37, 31. Any rotation in there is pretty weak. That rotation off to the east, I don't think that that's real rotation. Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Well, we wait. The algorithm in the radar may not be leading us astray for a change. This is interacting with another boundary. You can see right here, the wind is coming around like this, blowing in like that. There may be a little bit of spinach right here. This is on Nova Road, Deer Park Road in eastern Osceola County. Right where you see those arrows heading towards like Poinsett, Cocoa, and Rockledge. There's a little bit of spin, which our radar system thinks that it's strong rotation. I don't know if I would call that strong rotation, but it's a little bit of spin in there. I'm going to keep an eye on that. Oh, actually, it was stronger a minute ago. Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on that. It's interacting with the boundary. So a little bit of rotation here. It's pretty weak. It's pretty elevated. Not pretty weak, but it's there. And that is tracking something in the direction of Port St. John, Lake Poinsett. So we'll keep an eye out for this little bit of spin right there going in this direction. If it continues, it hit I-95 in about 26 minutes. In Port St. John, Cocoa area, about 30 to 40 minutes. So we'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, just a crazy amount of lightning, and I'll track the leading edge of the storm a little bit better for you here. We're getting it at about 30. So something like this. Bellwood 801, South Titusville 802, Port St. John 759. And then those of you in Brevard County, this storm is going to come in eventually. And I do think probably will grow as it gets closer to the beaches. So within the next hour, we're looking at Aurora 756, Melbourne closer to 8 o'clock, Vieira about 755 from that strong and severe thunderstorm. Further to the north in the Mims and Titusville area, you can see this one probably has some decent hail with it, right in East Mims in JJ. We'll take a look at some of the hail. It's just forming now, which is why the radar is behind, but probably some marble and pea-sized hail in Wiley, Mims, and LaGrange right now. Moving up to Oak Hill, looking at some of that rain as well currently. So to give you a big picture reset, because I know all of you might not be in those very localized areas, if you're in Sanford, Winter Park, Orlando, there's some more thunder showers that are popping up over here. You can see them back between Lake Buena Vista. These are going to track towards Sanford, Altamont, Winter Park, Orlando, but they're probably going to be sub-severe for the evening. It's this thunderstorm that came out of St. Cloud going towards Port St. John, and then this one up in Brevard County we're going to keep an eye on for the next little while. And there is the view of that. That's from our radar tower in the Bithlo area, and there it is from Daytona Beach looking on off to the south. So let me show you the radar simulation through the evening. It's not doing a bad job, but the idea is as we head through the next hour or two, the storms by 8:30 might actually intensify more heading into the Space Coast, into Melbourne and Cocoa Beach. And you see by Orlando, Winter Park, there could be some additional redevelopment of storms heading through the evening tonight, so we'll keep an eye on that. If you have a question, comment, concern, please put it in the feed. We'd love to hear from you. Brutal storm just went through South Daytona, says Ted Gary. Tons of picked up palm trees, plus Chelsea wants a shout out. Shout out Chelsea, hello. I think it's past St. Cloud now, Paola, yes it is. Got a lot of rain here near Nolte Road in STC, says Brandon Blanchard. Thanks for that. I almost thought your name was Blanchard. I almost read that as Blanchard. Missed there was a D. I went outside and watched it approach. Nicole Robbins. Yeah, you're over in Kissimmee. It came quickly, sheet of rain, and wind was so intense. Appreciate that. Some flooding, Kelly Bass. Appreciate that. Hail in St. Cloud, Kathy Joe. Yep. Probably was, Kathy. I don't know how big it was if you have a hail size report from there. Now, going into the overnight, we're going to watch the northern horizon. A front's actually going to come in. And there'll be some redevelopment of storms by 2, 3 in the morning in Ocala, Gainesville, the villages. You'll notice by 5, 6 in the morning, we've got storms dropping to the southeast. So we're going to watch that for your morning commute. Here's 7:30 a.m. tomorrow. There'll be some more storms that come on in. So we're going to watch that. Again, I'll give you it one more time. Storms through the evening. Here's 8. Here's 9. Work to the Space Coast. Maybe some showers and just general thunder around Orlando, 9 to 10. And then watch up here later tonight. We'll get some redevelopment up here, and this will drop south through the villages. And these will be big storms as well in the middle of the night with a tremendous amount of lightning and maybe a few hail wind reports. Probably not a lot because it'll be overnight. Here's 5 in the morning. You see rocking and rolling in the villages, 6 a.m. in the villages in Ocala. so we'll keep an eye on that. So for right now, we're coming up on 7:27 p.m. And for more on these storms, I want to toss it now to my colleague, meteorologist Laurel Blanchard, who's going to take you through some more of these storms. And Laurel's going to track them for you more coming up on the News Edge at 8. But Laurel, I will let you go ahead and track some of the storms for everybody.
Yeah, so overall, seeing those storms continuing to make their way off to the east, but overall, we're going to be keeping an eye on a few of these areas, especially with that storm that's still under that severe thunderstorm warning. So as we do take a look overall, let's pop my face back up over here. There we go. Move the camera over just a little bit more. Hey, folks. Okay, so overall, we're starting to get in some storm reports from the National Weather Service. So overall, there was a report a couple minutes ago from Daytona Beach saying that there was a lot of rain at the time. But overall, we're going to continue to see more of those storms continuing to make their way eastward as we head through the rest of the evening. So overall, taking a look back to that report that was sent in from Daytona Beach, they clocked in 47 mile per hour winds, according to the National Weather Service. Also, they are going to cancel that severe thunderstorm warning for southern Orange as well as northern Osceola County. So that storm is no longer at severe strength, but still seeing a lot of lightning associated with that. New Smyrna Beach also clocked in a wind gust of 40 miles per hour. And also in Osceola County, NOAA was talking that the radar was picking up 75 mile per hour winds, but the National Weather Service was only actually able to confirm a 45 mile per hour wind gust. So that's what we're continuing to watch through the rest of the evening as we head through the rest of the overnight tonight. And as we take a look through the rest of the evening, we're going to continue to monitor that as we head through a little bit later on. So I'm going to switch our program very quickly.
One if you want.
I'll just switch to 3. That's fine. So bear with me for a hot second, folks. Overall, these storms continuing to fire up. I think things are going to get a little bit more probably on the stronger side once this storm continues to make its way further along the coastline. But overall, we're going to continue to really watch these storms as they continue to interact with the sea breeze. Let's switch this over real quick.
And while Laurel's doing that, because she's going to switch her source, I'll keep talking so y'all can hear us. Stick with us here. Laurel will be back with you in just a second. But yeah, it looks like the storms are going to be Space Coast storms now for the next hour or two, and Laurel's going to track you through those here in the next few minutes. But the thing about those winds is that where those winds occurred, just echoing what the Weather Service said, we'll hope that it occurred only in an isolated area, but for a few minutes there were some really strong winds on the radar that occurred just to the east of St. Cloud that may have actually been over 60 miles an hour. But at least officially at any observing sites, because remember we don't have observing sites in any one everywhere across the area, it's possible that we didn't detect as strong as that wind was, but that was earlier in Osceola County. And Laurel is going to take you back now through more of the storms. And Laurel, it definitely looks like the stuff going into Brevard County is pretty strong out there right now.
Yeah, still seeing some very gusty winds as well as some very heavy rain. So thanks for bearing with us for that quick switch over. Overall, lots of rain, especially in areas across Volusia County. Remember last week how folks were saying that there wasn't a ton of rain in Volusia County and Daytona Beach? Yeah, we're getting that now. So as we do take a look out there, not seeing any further storm reports from National Weather Service. Hopping on Facebook because I put a post out a little bit earlier on. See if there's any storm reports here. Yeah, the thunder is extremely loud in Kissimmee, because just take a look at this. So usually when we take a look at storms, lightning count is a big thing. So as we do take a look here, let's just back it up 15 minutes. Just over to here, continuing to move along. We saw almost 700 lightning strikes close to the Kissimmee area, and I'm actually going to back this up a half hour when the storm was really firing up. Yeah, so we were talking just about 600, 700 lightning strikes over the Kissimmee area. And that really means once we see an increase in almost like a cluster of those lightning strikes, that usually means that the storm is getting stronger or something is happening within that storm in order to intensify that overall. So as we take a look just at the last couple of minutes, we've seen that lightning count kind of go up and down a little bit more as it kind of taps in to some areas that haven't seen any rain yet. So we've really seen that rain across the western part of the viewing area, and now we're starting to see that rain really start to move into Brevard County. So that's something that we're going to be watching as it starts to tap into that area that really hasn't been touched quite yet. So that's really what we're looking at. If anyone also has any photos as well, send them to the Fox 35 website. There's a little photo portal that you can submit all your storm reports. Alicia, looks like you found some quarter-sized hail in your area. Corey, it says that you're pouring there in Winter Garden. Kathy Joe in St. Cloud, you had hail, but it wasn't too big. And yeah, it's the normal way in May in Florida. Yeah, so really we have been falling into that pattern of the rainy season for the past couple of months, for the past couple of weeks, excuse me. It's been very dry the past couple of months, and now we're kind of making up all of that rain. But as that rain just is going to continue to move, this is just a simulation of what's going to happen within the next hour, continuing to make its way off coast. So Coco's going to be seeing rain within the next 45 minutes or so, continuing to make its way offshore. But that's really what's going to happen within the next hour. Slowly, these storms going to continue to make their way offshore. We'll play that one more time. As these storms just slowly continue to make their way into Brevard County, looking like these storms slowly going to start to fizzle out, but there may be a little bit of a shower or storm that's lingering, especially in northern Orange County, continuing to bring a good amount of rain and back into Seminole County, as well as the majority of these storms just continue to push offshore. Earlier on, and it looks like that's going to sustain for a little bit longer. At about 5 o'clock, the Orlando International Airport actually put out a ground stop, so that's going to be grounded until 8:15. So that's what we're going to continue to see there. Tomorrow, though, it's going to be a little bit different. So I do want to focus on that very quickly. Continuing to see a cold front be thrown in the mix as well. So not only are we going to have that daytime thunderstorms, we're also going to have this thrown in the mix too. So as video take a look, this is tomorrow. So tomorrow morning, starting to see some storms fire up throughout the morning hours. So you may want to bring that rain jacket or that umbrella as you're headed out the door tomorrow morning. That cold front slowly going to start to dip down, but earlier on, usually we've been seeing those thunderstorms pop up during the heat of the day, so about 2 p.m., continuing until about 9 o'clock or so, after that all that energy from the heat of the day finally wears off, and then it's quiet through the overnight tonight. Different story tomorrow. We're going to continue to see those storms actually at about probably as early as 8, 9 a.m. or really firing up at about noon, slowly starting to calm down as we head through your Friday night, but still seeing some scattered showers out there. But we're really keying in on Saturday morning. Friday is an impact day. Saturday is also an impact day because some of these storms definitely could pack a punch. But as this cold front is really pushing down, there's a good amount of storm energy ahead of it. So with that, we could see some of those thunderstorms be on the nasty side. So just make sure you are being careful with that. Some of those thunderstorms can be a little bit sneaky and really pick up, especially in this case, as a lot of storm energy is being swept down. So as we head into Saturday morning, this is 9 a.m. If you're planning on rope dropping any of the theme parks, it's not going to be too nice of a morning. So I would hold out for the start of your Saturday and continue to possibly head to the parks a little bit later on, because just look how quickly that clears out. By about 4 o'clock, it's going to be beautiful out there. Much cooler though. We've been holding those temperatures throughout the 90s earlier this week, and we're really going to start to quiet down a little bit later on. So popping back to our radar very quickly, and also taking another check at our National Weather Service chat, seeing what their thoughts are on the current storms.
I got the Daytona camera pulled up for it if you want to show it. It looks really nice. I'll let you surprise and see what it looks like.
Let's take a look. You said Daytona camera?
Yeah. Hello, Elaine. Thanks for watching.
right, this is our Hard Rock cam. Oh, look at that. We got a rainbow.
Double
Two rainbows. Yeah, so actually pretty cool. So when you see a double rainbow, it's actually a rainbow in reverse. So the way that the light goes through the first set of raindrops, it creates your normal, typical rainbow, going from red all the way to violet. So you can see here, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. And then on the other side, it's mirrored. So it's actually going to almost two prisms. So you have that first sunlight going through that first edge of those raindrops, and then it flips. So actually from this side, it's reflected. So you have red on the inside and then violet on the outside. So
I didn't know that.
A little bit of a lesson there. You didn't know that?
No.
Little meteorology lesson. So yeah, when you have a double rainbow, you have your typical rainbow, and then the double of it is a reflection of the original rainbow, which is pretty cool. So yeah, really a lot of rain falling, but you're also starting to see a little bit of that sunshine peek out as we take a look across Daytona Beach right now. A little bit of a close-in to just break down what we're seeing at the moment. Let's just start off north to south. Palm Coast, just seeing a couple of very scattered showers. Looks like a good storm just offshore at the moment. Let's check on our shear rate as well. Okay, looks like just a thunderstorm offshore, nothing too big to worry about there. Down towards Daytona Beach, finally starting to see that heavy rain move out, also down to Port Orange. New Smyrna Beach, you're still going to be stuck in that rain for quite a while as well. Continuing down towards Titusville, looks like there's a storm just off to your north. So actually, real quick, let's hop to our Epic Theater cam. And see that. See if there's another rainbow out there. Doesn't look like it. Can you see anything fun on the Titusville cam?
See if I can move it for you. It's way zoomed in.
I'll switch back and let me know if you see anything.
Oh, there you go. I have a shelf cloud out.
Oh, hold on. Let's switch back. So focusing back in on Titusville, yeah, you can see that edge of that thunderstorm slowly starting to move offshore and move over the Kennedy Space Center. Have that camera focus real quick. There's probably, yeah, there is definitely lightning in this one further down this way, but you can see that nice shelf cloud right there. Let's switch back to our Facebook. Close that for a second. Okay, it doesn't look like we're seeing anything new, so if anybody is seeing any storm reports out there, definitely let us know.
Well, that rainbow is outstanding in Daytona. It's gotten brighter.
Yeah? We'll switch back to it in a second. But then back down towards Bithlow area, still seeing just some light rain. Eastern Orange County moving over the 528 route and almost riding just parallel of 95. Going to be seeing a good amount of rain. This not looking like anything crazy, but out ahead, do you see this little bit of an arc that's kind of happening? So Lake Poinsett, Port St. John, Cocoa, it's going to get really windy there within the next couple of minutes, so just heads up. We see this storm almost kind of like bowing out, which means that there is going to be a good amount of rain as well as a good amount of wind coming your way soon. Back down towards southern Osceola County, Yeehaw Junction, you're clear, but going to be seeing possibly a little bit of a shower continuing to make its way in. And then just seeing some storms continuing to fire up, making their way in now across the border from Osceola County into Brevard County at the moment. So doing a quick breakdown once again to just do a zoom out. Not really seeing any more collisions happening. Maybe a couple more of those pop-up storms firing off across western Osceola County. But we're really going to be watching southern Brevard as the last of those sea breeze collisions start to impact these thunderstorms that are currently already active right now. Let's do a quick look at our cameras again. Really dark, but you can see that shelf cloud and just a wall of rain underneath our Titusville camera right now. Laura Ray asking about MCO this evening. Things should quiet down. Maybe a couple more of those scattered showers, but we'll check back that in 1 second. With the Daytona Beach rainbow, double rainbow still again, starting to see that rain lighten up across Daytona. But again, Laura Ray, you asked How is MCO? Last time I checked, there is a ground stop until 8:15, so it may take a little bit in order to get back up where everything is scheduled and on time because of those delays, but everything should be okay and either starting to get back to normal, but weather-wise it should be pretty clear by the time 11 o'clock rolls around. Oh, the radar looks like a seahorse from Chelsea. Oh, I like that. That's a cute little observation. Alright, not seeing anything over here. Let me do a quick check on our YouTube as well, because I know some folks are watching there.
Looks like we're getting some storms redeveloping over Dr. Phillips, interestingly.
Alright, looks like we're getting some folks from Lakeland, St. Cloud, Orlando. And we have someone writing in that unfortunately their dogs are scared on YouTube. Yes, I know my dog is very scared as well. My dog hides underneath the bed whenever there's thunderstorms. So she is probably there right now. So again, just doing a quick check. Not seeing anything too new from our National Weather Service of Melbourne. Typing in. Let's just do a double check of that. Okay, nothing new from there. But again, as Noah mentioned, seeing the possibility of a little bit of redevelopment of some thunderstorms starting to pick up once again just north of Lake Buena Vista. So if you are at any of the theme parks tuning in, you're probably going to see some thunderstorms within the next couple of minutes. So just heads up for that. Okay, we do have a storm that's being watched. This is a storm that is being watched right now by the National Weather Service. They don't think it's going to go severe. However, there is just some very gusty winds with the storm that is just to the west of MCO right now, as well as they were kind of monitoring the winds from this storm that moved through that did cause that ground stop. From radar, they were clocking in some pretty high gusts of what we were tracking on our end. However, they really weren't being picked up as well from the ground at MCO, so they're going to continue to monitor that a little bit as well. And they're also getting reports of 50 mile per hour, or 45 mile per hour winds, excuse me, as the storm was collapsing over Osceola County, so areas across Kissimmee, and a couple of the anemometers there. They were clocking in 45 mile per hour winds at the ground. That's definitely the tricky thing about radar sometimes, is because the radar is shooting up so high in the sky, it's picking up those very, very gusty winds as the interior of this thunderstorm either grows or dissipates. So sometimes things are a little bit different between how high the radar is shooting or how low the radar is shooting. So it's really sometimes a little bit of a difference between what we can see in the radar and what actually gets picked up on the ground. But right now, just doing a quick last check, and I'll pass it back off to Noah. And of course, definitely tune in at 8. I'll be on in about 15 minutes, breaking down these storms once again. But one thing that I do want to do a quick check of. So they are continuing to watch this storm that's making its way over the I-95 corridor. Biggest thing that I can stress right now is that if you are driving or plan to drive within the next couple of minutes, be careful for sure. We're going to see everything slow down because of all the water that's out on the roads, and that can really limit that visibility. So just really looking at that accumulation just for the past 6 hours. Let's turn this off and this off so it's a little bit easier to read. So just so far this afternoon, just within the past 6 hours, areas across Sumter County got about 2 inches of rain, over 2 inches of rain, possibly some areas clocked in about 2.5 inches. Let's head up towards Daytona Beach because I know we got a severe thunderstorm warning up here. Near DeLand, continuing up the I-4 corridor, possibly clocking in about 2 inches of rain or 1.75 inches. Areas where we did see that severe thunderstorm warning in Osceola County near Kissimmee and Lake Buena Vista, right at the Four Corners area, where we saw that thunderstorm really pick up. possibly just over 3/4 inch of rain. Near Kissimmee, closer to an inch of rain. Areas where we're seeing that storm now, possibly 2 inches of rain as we see that storm potentially start to collapse on itself. That's going to drop a lot of rain in a short amount of time. So again, if you're headed on hitting the roads tonight, make sure you are just being careful with that. So again, just to wrap up, and Noah, I'll have you take over so I can get ready for the 8 o'clock show. Continuing to see these storms make their way off the inlets of Cocoa Beach, Melbourne, up towards Daytona and Deltona. Still going to be seeing some showers probably until 9, 10 o'clock tonight before we just see some lingering rain showers through the rest of the evening. But again, tomorrow, going to see those storms start to fire up early. And again, watching that line as we head through early Saturday morning. So Noah, as I switch things over, I'll bring this up full. And we'll do
Oh, sorry.
a little switch over here.
We need a proverbial baton to pass.
Seriously.
Let's see. My husband had to move his flight to Tampa. Southwest kept delaying. It's a pain, I know.
Yeah, so again, OIA is still putting that ground stop in until 8:15 is what we're watching. I totally forgot what I was doing. Oh, here. And then switching... 3. Oh, did you already do it?
No.
Okay, should be all yours. Okay, yep, you're good. 3. Oh, did you already do it?
Watch your jacket. You're under your jacket.
Thank you.
Okay, that'll be our baton as the jacket. There you go. Now make sure you watch Laurel on the News Edge at 8. Should be coming up in about
Should be
2 minutes. So
all
thank you all
yours.
for sticking with us here. I'll take you through about 7:55, and we'll keep looking at some of these storms. So the good news is right now there's nothing actively severe. We'll keep an eye on these until they head offshore in a few minutes. But yeah, it is May in Florida, and this is a regular occurrence, but we're just keeping an eye on them for you in case you were wondering what is going on. Into the Epic Universe area, Windermere, Dr. Phillips, a little thunderstorm popping up. We'll keep an eye on that one. That one appears to be getting a little bit stronger right now. But actually, I want to show you the Titusville camera because, ooh, wowie, is there a textbook meteorological thing going on right now? And Ms. Blanchard is going to show you that more on the News Edge at 8, I'm certain. But look at this. Hang on, give me a hot second. Look at that, y'all. That is a shelf cloud if I've ever seen one. Now, everybody always gets worried when they see these. They're a lot scarier than they are. Remember, a tornado doesn't form from this. That would be a wall cloud. And trust me, you would know the difference even if you haven't seen it. This ragged, scary, ominous-looking cloud happens all over the world with thunderstorms. It's the surge of rain-cooled air. As soon as that goes over your head, the wind picks up, the temperature drops 15 degrees in 60 seconds, and then it rains shortly thereafter. It looks really scary. It provides great photography for photographers and, everybody else, but they're often harmless. A tornado does not form from a shelf cloud, which is good news, because if they did, we would have something more concerning there right now, which we don't. But let me see if I can zoom out the camera, and we'll move it around here a little bit. Yeah, so this is in Titusville, and you can see that ominous-looking shelf cloud rolling in, which right behind it indicates the surge of rain-cooled air. And I bet those people sitting at that tiki bar having dinner are getting quite a picture on their phone looking behind the restaurant. But you can see it there on the left. That's that shelf cloud rolling in. It's pretty cool. You can watch this in real time. You can see how fast it's moving. It's literally, you can literally see how it's rolling up like that, indicating the surge of rain-cooled air. But the good news is that these storms are sub-severe for right now. But yeah, look at that. Look at that. That is crazy. See how fast it's moving. That's the rain-cooled air surge that's coming in into Titusville. You can really see how it's rolling up like that. Pretty neat stuff there. We'll go back to the radar. Surge of rain-cooled air. Anything with these storms. But so keep an eye on that storm here. Epic Universe. Further to the southeast. Tremendous lightning here, Port St. John, Cocoa, Cape Canaveral. also in Melbourne. Let me put a tracker on these for you. So we're tracking them east at about 30. So something like that. These storms will be in Cocoa at 7:54, Bellwood 7:56, Cape Canaveral probably just after 8. And then these storms down here in Brevard. These we'll keep an eye on too. These are moving to the northeast, something like that. Probably in Vieira about 8:10. The Melbourne area probably about 8:15. We'll keep an eye on those thunderstorms for you right now. But let me put you back to the Titusville camera. Look at this. Wow. Then these storms down here. You see the roll cloud. That's a shelf cloud. We'll keep an eye on too. These are moving to the northeast. You can literally see that. Probably in Vieira about 8:10. The Melbourne area probably about 8:15. I'm rolling on. Keep an eye on those thunderstorms for you. And you can see the shelf cloud rolling in. Look at this. Wow. That is really actually pretty sad. I love that. You see the roll cloud. That's a shelf cloud. Meteorologically speaking. Thankfully, this is harmless. It's just going to drop the temperature and start raining. Probably in Vieira about 8:10. The Melbourne area probably see that like that. I'm rolling on. Keep an eye on those. So appreciate all of y'all watching. You can see the shelf cloud rolling in. Look at this. Wow. That is really actually pretty sad. I love that. You see the more storms coming for tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow's storms will be harmless. You can literally drop the temperature and start pretty widespread as well. Like really, and tomorrow's storms will not be exclusive to just the morning. But hey, you can look up and see that shelf cloud. It's pretty wild. You can see how fast it's moving in real time. Move this back for Laurel. She's going to use it on the news edge at 8, but. Yeah, that's pretty wild. So yeah, Laurel's going to be up on the news edge at 8 for you here, coming up in a second. The good news is that these storms are just producing a tremendous amount of lightning right now. There is still a chance of a brief tornado now, because you're starting to get to the point where these are interacting with the East Coast sea breeze. And I'm not seeing anything in here now that's concerning for that. Shear rate is pretty good. Seeing anything in there now. Yeah, there might be some hail. Could be some small hail in here heading towards Cape Canaveral. But yeah, put you back, give you a big view here, show you. Watch these storms as they exit tonight. Maybe some more around Orlando for the evening, and then a lot more storms for tomorrow. So appreciate y'all watching. Have a good night. Don't forget to tune into Laurel on the news edge at 8 for more on these storms. Have a good night. But yeah, put you back, give you a big view here, show you. Watch these storms as they exit tonight. Maybe some more around Orlando for the evening, and then a lot more storms for tomorrow. So appreciate y'all watching. Have a good night. Don't forget to tune into Laurel on the news edge at 8 for more on these storms. Have a good night. But yeah, put you back, give you a big view here, show you. Watch these storms as they exit tonight. Maybe some more around Orlando for the evening, and then a lot more storms for tomorrow. So appreciate y'all watching. Have a good night. Don't forget to tune into Laurel on the news edge at 8 for more on these storms. Have a good night. But yeah, put you back, give you a big view here, show you. Watch these storms as they exit tonight. Maybe some more around Orlando for the evening, and then a lot more storms for tomorrow. So appreciate y'all watching. Have a good night. Don't forget to tune into Laurel